this, though, this is a very, very northern playing path. Doesn't matter as much, obviously, here on Sanok as it does on other maps, because you can basically pretty much reach anywhere with a really long drop in this situation. But we have our eyes peeled on the screen. Where are we going to see fights from the very get-go? Are we going to see some of the top teams already now have a little bit of a early fight with some of the teams? But we will see for sure within the next couple seconds. I will say this, though. The highest damage in action. 1,000 more damage ahead. Or 1,000 more damage than Fluke, ahead of Fluke there. That is quite insane to see. Northeastern Circle.
Yeah, and I think this Northeast Circle is actually going to force the hot drop, because guess what? If I'm not mistaken, I'm seeing Stalwart Esports and RSG. They're both currently in boot camp. Are they actually going to try to go for it? Is there any team going to back off? I don't think it's going to happen. They're currently fighting. You can see somebody from back-to-back already getting eliminated to Aton Esports. I think back-to-back is going to be surprised to that drop. And guess what? Now we go to it. Now we go to this fight. RSG going up against Stalwart Esports. Who is going to win this fight? Let us know in the comments below. This is about to get interesting, Martin.
Yeah, I'm loving what I'm seeing already here. Regans, what can we What can we see happen here from this situation? Scry, can he do something? Action goes down. Our top damage dealer is out. That is unfortunate for Sal for sure. But I love that Regans are taking these guys on. Somebody has to stop them at this point. The first team to go into the triple-digit points, and they're looking very, very certain to be going into the top 5 in the after-party showdown, like the desk have been talking about here. This is a ballsy rest, but it actually worked out quite well. Top is low, though. Action is low. I'm not sure they have too much healing going on for them either. Top is outside, trying to take advantage here. He's going to do some movements there forward, and they'll not be able to hear him too much.
It's going to be interesting who's going to be able to strike first, because this team's right now nothing. I mean, we got some knocks, right? RSG, they do have that DPS. They do have the DPS. We know what they've been able to do with it before. And guess what? Stalwart Esports getting eliminated by RSG.
Yeah, that is quite crazy to see super early on here. The situation is obviously always boot camp that's being fought for. And Regans being able to close that one out, take out Stalwart. It's going to be this game for everyone else to try to catch up, try to capitalize on the situation that our current leaders are right now not alive as the first team out for this situation here. Sanak, it's always a blessing. We always have so many fights, so many crazy situations from the very get-go. And we're going to be having more. Now, DAMWON Kia, I really love what I've been seeing from them for the first 2 games here, because last days it was not the best for them, but they have stepped it up. They managed to combine both their placements with the eliminations that they were needing so much, and now they're looking really, really good. So hopefully they can do quite a lot better compared to day 1 here. Let's see what happens in this game. And the rest of the day, we have obviously 4 more games, including this one. Nice shots coming in from Bane, putting out some destruction onto that one. Let's see a replay of what happened here. Oh, he actually ran into it while he was focusing on the window. That was quite impressive. Now, 52 Esports, they are pushing on to Donuts and USG here.
Yeah, and if you're RSG, I mean, you're going to be happy about that. You didn't really have to move much. You just pretty much had to shoot and then let the player walk into that line of sight. And you were talking about teams that weren't improving. I mean, 52 Esports, they had quite a performance, not in regards to Ilms, but at least in regards to placement in that previous match in Miramar. The 3rd place finished 3 Ilms, and right now they're starting off hot too, being able to get at least 1 Ilm. Now, with Stalwart Esports being out, I'm hoping that a lot of the other teams are going to be able to take advantage. And I'm going to be looking at some of the teams that are towards the bottom. Team Seoul, I mean, they currently have 32 points. That's a team that really, really needs to figure out if they want to continue playing the passiveness and slow gameplay that they've been playing, or if they want to just get a little bit more aggressive, get a little bit more confident, be willing to take fights to those teams, because right now I'm really not seeing that out of Team Seoul.
No, and obviously a huge following, huge fan base that are cheering these guys on. TJB on screen, though, they are currently in the mid-pack, able to kind of pounce into that top 5 if they have a good game. Our mid-pack is looking really interesting, really, really spicy. We have about 6, 7, 8 teams that are within that striking distance of the top 5 right now. The only teams that are looking pretty certain to be going is Stalwart, Vampire, and Falcon. I would love to see Falcon being able to go into the after party show match as well, even though R8 is also joining them. Obviously, home turf heroes is super important here with the backing and the pride that you can have with the teams being able to represent in your own country. That is fantastic. Team Soul on screen, as we were talking about right now, overlooking boot camp, potentially considering what's going to be going on here. Are we going to be trying to get some of those rotation kills that Regans is going to be doing later? Actually setting up quite heavily on this camp here, 7. The potential could be quite big. The question is, do they run that way, or are they going to be running together and just going to be running into it? Look at that on screen, 7.
I'm going to disagree with this.
Spicy.
I don't know what Omega's trying to do there. I mean, you're going to be living. Yes, you do have some players, right, overlooking what RSG is going to be doing. But when you lay down in between 2 rocks, are you scared that you might end up getting third party from the other side? You have to make a decision right there. Am I going to focus on what? Am I going to focus on RSG, or am I going to be focusing on just what's behind me? I feel like I don't agree with that decision. I'm hoping he's able to change it, because Team Soul can definitely get some eliminations here, especially if they catch RSG by surprise. And I think that's exactly what they're trying to do. We'll end up seeing what's going to be happening with those 2 teams. But, I mean, RSG has already gotten at least into 1 battle. We saw what happened there with that Stalwart Esports. They are ready to get into a fight. Virtual Gaming Squad, a team that so far has been a bit lackluster. They're also looking to get some elims. And here we go. RSG going up against Team Soul. What's about to happen between these 2? You see Didi, and I think they have an idea. And RSG is going to let those grenades rain down on Team Soul. Who is going to get the first knock? That's what it's going to come down to. Goblin, there you go. He decides to get up. He gets a knock, and now he's about to get knocked himself. They do end up trading. AkshaT going for the knock with Lightning. I don't think he's going to be able to get it. He does end up getting knocked. GC being able to get everybody off the elf angle right there.
Wow.
And Team Soul escaping with just 1 player, but RSG, I mean, actually not even. Team Soul just got eliminated. Team Soul, you had the height advantage. You had everything going your way. You were trying to get the surprise, and instead, I feel like RSG ended up surprising them.
Yeah, that was so unfortunate for them. They should have been able to capitalize on that situation, but they just weren't. And RSG Regans able to jump out, get the points confirmed for them. They're right now on 7 eliminations. 7.
Yes.
What do you think about that?
I think that is a great number. And I think even though they do have 7 elims, I think RSG is going to be a little bit upset because they ended up losing 1 player.
Yeah, that is an unfortunate situation. But I will say this. I would trade 7 eliminations for 1 player less on your team any day.
I mean, unless it's action.
Yeah,
from Stalwart Esports, then I'm going to be like, you know what? I'd rather action be alive.
Yeah, for sure. Right now, we are looking at a cutoff at 63 points for the top 5 Istanbul Wildcats. They were able to jump into that spot with their last performance, and that's obviously a good thing here. But Sanak is a map that we have these healing strats going off of, and that's really the question: who's going to be able to make the best out of it, and how much are they going to be able to loot? You see here on screen, some teams are far away outside the circle, but you want to try to get as deep as possible in the circles, potentially 2nd and 3rd circle, and then that's where you start using everything and all your heals. If we have a northern circle shift, we have a very close Paradise Assault, but DAMWON Kia is set up already. Virtual Gaming Squad set up already, and we have a lot of other teams that are already in the same vicinity here, and they're going to have some teams in their proximity. The question is, do they engage in fight? Do they prioritize trying to stay 4 guys alive for this late game?
Yeah, and I think right now at this moment it's just better to try to stay alive. We have TJB, Vampire Esports. These are 2 teams that are currently inside the blue zone and far away, must I add, from the actual safe zone. They need to figure out if they want to continue to engage this, because this, in a way, this is kind of pointless, right?
Right.
This is just going to hinder in a big way, and they actually decide to go for the 5. TJB being able to strike first and being able to eliminate somebody from Vampire Esports. Schweb, he sees somebody. Here comes the nades. Here come the Molotovs. Who's going to be able to get that first knock? TJB does decide to back off. He's going to try to find that angle. He knows where he's at. He currently has the health advantage. Not anymore. Now they're a little bit tied up. and some of the other TJB players slaying back, trying to find some of the other angles. This is an interesting fight for me, one that I must say I don't agree with, and I think it's going to end up forcing one of these two teams to end up with the heel strat. They're searching him. Stone with the height advantage decides to back up as well. I think they decided, you know what, I'm sorry, show up. I think they're just going to be able to get you unless he's able to somehow clutch it, and we have seen it before. And as I say that, he ends up getting knocked by a grenade.
That's a huge one for them. Good points eliminated there, but also now you're able to pick up more utility for that. Let's see what Vampire is going to be able to do this for the rest of the game. Now, Donuts on screen. Currently in a pretty damn good situation for this one here. They're going to be fighting Box also here in this situation. Currently, both those teams in the middle of everything. And also USG Donuts, they are currently top 5 with 65 points, just 7. They obviously want to try to maintain that spot to try to get into the after party, because that is where the dance floor starts.
Yeah, that's where the fun will begin and the madness will also begin, my ad. And once again, we might see another engagement with teams that are just a little bit far away from the safe zone. They're going to start getting damage from that blue zone. It's not going to be too much, but we've seen it over and over again. I'd rather them just focus on getting to that safe zone, get into their location, be able to, if they can as well, loot a little bit more, get some more utility, and more Rocky getting spotted, almost getting knocked, actually ends up getting knocked and might end up getting confirmed here by Powerful from Team Falcons, and you can see him just going at it. He's going to be able to confirm that. That's going to be one LM point for Team Falcons.
Important. We can hear people obviously clapping. The distance never alone finds another one, and the crowd goes wild. That is good to hear. Support for Falcons, doing quite well for themselves currently. Another point confirmed in the book for them. That is going to be a total of 3 eliminations so far. Frenzy, last player for Morph, trying to send it into the circle now. He's just left with 9 bandages and a dream to try and make this happen.
He better start driving. He's better start fighting, driving fast. And I can hear the crowd. Falcons. Falcons, yeah, I'm all for it. Honestly, Falcons has surprised a lot of people, and they've been playing great. And as we say that, guess what? TJB, Vampire Esports, the team that were fighting earlier, they finally end up fighting that other player and gets eliminated. TJB, they are currently just Avenger. They're so far away from the zone, although that new circle might end up benefiting just a little bit.
Yeah, that could be a really interesting one. A southern shift for this one. A lot of teams going to have to move. Wildcats are one of them. 4 Rivals are one of them. Some of the teams that are right now outside the circle in the south side could move in and actually get some free terrain for this one. The question is, are they going to choose to do so? We're going to have a little bit of a replay here, see what happened with Vampire and TJP. An easy open door surprise. And here's my point for me. We're down to 16 teams, 54 players remaining in this situation. Nigma Galaxy right now on screen. Some healings are going off. They're going to have to get in on the circle here on the southern side.
Nigma Galaxy, a team that has decided to slow down their playing style in a big way, I feel like, compared to yesterday. It has worked out for them so far today. And you can see RSG going up against a fight with Vivo Key, DAMWON, Kia, just looking around, trying to figure out where stuff is happening, seeing if they can maybe, possibly, somehow, third party this. 52 Esports. You heard us talk about them earlier. They were aggressive. They do have... They're just trying to spot anybody. You see a Wildcats on the horizon. That's not going to happen there. And I'm hoping we get a chance to see Nigma Galaxy because they're very close to Aton Esports, and we could see a fight ensue there, as we do see as well DAMWON Kia very close to 52 Esports. More friends, the only player alive trying to secure some placement points.
More teams are moving in on the northern side. There's a lot of teams currently on the north half of the circle. The question is, do they try to do bigger rotations, try to get closer in? The circle is super close to Ban. Still have Paradise inside. DAMWON Kia first on screen. And he is really focused on locking down this compound currently. They are sitting in a decent spot too. Now shots are coming out. It's Vivo Keat versus Regans. McGrilling gone down. Unfortunate for Vivo Keat. After this game, we are going to be halfway through the main tournament. Ooh, that's a great amount of damage coming out from that nade there, 7.
That is a great nade there by Vivo Keat. And at this point now, Regans decides, you know what, I think we need to go back him up, and that's exactly what they're going to do. Regans right now with 9 Ilums, and I'm pretty sure they want to be able to add
Ooh,
some
third
more
party
to the tally. And if I'm not mistaken, I think that might have been back-to-back that I saw on the horizon, trying to get an angle on some of these players. Can he make that jump? Ooh, oh no! I really thought he was going to make it.
It looked like it for sure, but nope. That is back-to-back, as you were talking about here, putting some bullets towards the direction of Cielo. As you see on screen, we still have TJV and Vampire down outside in the blue, trying to get as many heals as they can get off action. Most elimination, 9 more than X-Ray from Wildcats. That is impressive.
Yeah,
1,000 more damage still for... That is crazy for action for Stalwart. That is just insane amounts of damage coming out. Still the longest eliminations, as we're talking about the Eagle Eye. $5,000 extra for the player that is able to have the 2 longest knockouts.
And then you have action with 24 LMs. See, that's what I was saying. I don't know if I would take 7 LMs over action, because action, if he stays alive, he might be able to get me some of those LMs. And on top of that, some of the placement points. But yeah, if it's not action, I would actually agree with you. I would rather take the 7 LMs.
Yeah, for sure. But like, because with 3 more players, you're going to get more out of it, right?
Yep.
On an average, you're going to probably get able to squeeze out quite a significant more amount of points for that one. Now, 52 having a bit of a fight towards Istanbul. Wildcat locks out in the distance, actually half HP. The other players are trying to decide whether we're going to do. We do have a next circle pop. It's gone southwest, so Paradise is no longer inside. The teams here on the northeastern side, the 52, they're going to have to move. DAMWON Kia is going to have to move too. Donuts looking decent at the moment, but we'll look in for those guys later. Outside the play zone, Ravenclaw goes down, and now the heal-off situation has not gone too well. Also, Wildcats are moving. Big macro rotation for them. They're trying to go all the way on the west side, try to sweep in and try to make this big rotation counterclockwise to get into that. Oh, what? Did he randomly find Jumper there? 4 rivals? It's Team Falcons that finds that. That could be a big one. Now he jumps off the buggy.
And Team Falcons definitely going to try to see if they can maybe pick up that player powerful before Rivals. He's playing that gatekeeper. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, but Lappy is being a little bit aggressive and actually is going to backfire. Yusuf's able to get some illims on 4 Rivals, and now the tables have turned. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, from what I saw there, Falcons might end up leaving 1 player to go for a heal-off, as we do end up seeing TJB. I'm looking at the map here. TJB finally deciding to get in a vehicle and just hold to the zone. Falcons, never alone, trying to not get anybody to knock them. And 4 Rivals, they're just deciding to back off to what's interesting. You can see 52 Esports outside the zone as well. And then 4 Rivals might drive into box gaming. They don't end up driving, and somehow Voki OP is still alive. And as I said that, he ends up getting knocked. The vehicle ends up exploding, and that is it for 4 Rivals. Box gaming being able to take advantage, and Virtual Gaming Squad also taking advantage of the rotation from 52 Esports as they're currently knocking some of their players.
Yeah, this is a rough situation in general here. There's Virtual Gaming Squad with the gatekeep on 52 potentially. Virtual Gaming Squad gets a knock on himself. Now Vaz for 52 trying to push. He gets knocked himself, gets finished off by Alvalucci quickly. And DAMWON Kia is out in 14th place without any eliminations at all. This is a rough game for them. Not what they were hoping for, of course, but so far today they've been a huge step up. This could be a huge grenade for Daku. Let's see how much he gets. Oh, perfect timing potentially. It's going to re-knock Zeus. And that is a huge one for Luigi. He's going to take more damage. Oh, nope. It's really good that it was outside that little room there. Now Daku has to heal. He's going to go down to the zone. And that is actually a rough situation in general for 52, because they're going to go out in 13th place with just 2 eliminations.
Yeah, that's going to only be 2 points in there. We go. We're seeing the replay of what happened there between Break MVP from Box Gaming. Got those shots, ultimately being able to secure those 2 elements. RSG being able to knock Wildcats. And you can see Never Alone, one of the players from Falcons. I wonder if that was the player that was trying to get the heal off for Falcons, because he just died to the play zone. We got Nigma Galaxy. Hamoudi, can he get this knock on MVP from Box Gaming? He's not able to see him. He's going to be able to see him now. Can he secure those knocks? He is going to be able to secure the knock in the Illimus. That was the last player from Box Gaming. And Nigma Sally gets to move up a little bit more and getting closer to that safe zone.
8 eliminations, though, for Box to go out on that. It's really good to turn that around. Obviously, not getting the placement is rough, but That's good for them to at least get the eliminations here. Nigma going out in 11th place. Back-to-back fighting with TJB. Kiss gets one down. More fights coming out. Polo goes down as well. Killswitch the last player for back-to-back. Let's see if he can make something happen in this situation here. Kiss is trying to heal off. It's a lot of damage taken from the blue zone.
And I think Killswitch is just going to back off. He knows that he can actually get into the zone or at least stay alive a little bit longer and just wait for the moment that TJB is going to have to push. Remember, TJB was a team that was inside zone for a very long time, so I am going to have to question how much shields they have. And as I say that, they only have, this is the last one. After that, he's going to have to push if he wants to do anything. And I think he might have been able to see Killswitch. No, Killswitch does end up getting in a different location. He might be able to get the knock here, and he is. Great awareness there by Killswitch with 4 Illims.
Fantastic movement for them for that, but TJB goes out in 10th. 4 eliminations here. Virtual Gaming Squad taking some shots towards multiple teams. You see in the distance here, Vivo Keed and Istanbul Wildcats. Defoe is the last player. They have 4 eliminations though, but not as a good game as the last one that we saw from them. This next circle has gone further north, so multiple teams have to move in and try to get in. So the Game Squad decides to take a car. It's a brave decision to do so. Let's see how much further they can take that one. But right now, a lot of teams are broken and battered. We actually have no teams that have more than 3 players alive. There's only one team that has that, and it's Virtual Gaming Squad here on screen. Gaddafi right now looking what they could do for that one. Coming out of Libya. If they're able to do something more for this one.
We see Wildcats, also Stone from Vampire Esports getting knocked in. Actually, gets eliminated. Wow, Gaddafi being able to get those shots there on friends. And Morph gets eliminated with just 2 Illims in Virtual Gaming Squad. They slowed it down, and right now it's working out perfect for them. And I was questioning what they were doing there with that truck. I wonder if they were maybe thinking, are we going to need it for cover? But instead, Hawk, you have so much cover from all the rocks that are just all over the place.
Vivo Keed actually the only team with 0 eliminations out of the ones that are surviving right now. And they're trying to make it in. Now Aton, Bruno, no more heals. You're going to be gone off with that one. That is Aton out in 7th place. 3 eliminations. 3 teams have only a single player left. 2 teams, the Regans and the Vivo Keed, has a 1 player surviving right now. Virtual Gaming Squad with 5 eliminations has 3 players alive, and they're putting on pressure on these teams ahead of them. Let's see if they can close this game out or if they're going to lose any players to Regans.
Yeah, Virtual Gaming Squad going to be going up against 2 players from RSG, but keep in mind, RSG, 11 Illims for that team, and they started off hot, and I'm pretty sure they're going to continue to stay hot. As you see, Lightning getting ready to throw those grenades is going to come down to who's able to get that knock, because I believe RSG, if they can get a knock on those players from Virtual Gaming Squad, they might be able to win that engagement and just wipe them out. Killswitch, the only player standing from back-to-back. They had a horrible day yesterday, and I'm pretty sure right now, this halfway point, they were looking to change it. Well, guess what? You got some placement points, but after that, you weren't able to get more. VGS actually securing some points there on RSG, and that was it for RSG. And Vivo Key, even though they didn't have any Illims earlier, guess what? They're getting into the party as well. Adrian, currently looking around, trying to figure out where the player from Virtual Gaming Squad is going to be. Adrian going for the push. Is he going to be able to get the knock? He is able to secure those Illims, and Virtual Gaming Squad gets eliminated by Vivo Key. And ladies and gentlemen, now it's a 1v1v1, and actually, it's going to be a heal-off. Team Falcons. They were able, with that heal-off, they were able to gather so many points, so many placement points.
Adrian's inside the zone, but he only has bandages. The question is, does Damar have enough for this heal-off? Can he sustain longer until the circle closes? It's likely going to be Vivo Keed and Adrian, the first player actually out of the PMPL Spring Split in Brazil to get all the MVP slots for that. But it is Vivo Keed. The boys coming out of Brazil to be able to close this one out here. Huge game for them on Sanok. And we're going to be halfway through today and also halfway through the main tournament after this one.
Yeah, and I'm excited to end up seeing what that leaderboard is going to look like, because remember, Stalwart Esports got eliminated first. RSG, they're being able to pick up some steam. They've been able to get some Illims, and as well, they've been able to get some chicken dinners. But overall, just absolute madness. Now you know why I love Sandhawk, because it's absolute madness. You don't know what to expect. Ended up coming down to a heal-off, which I'm okay with. That was an intense finish.
Yeah, super intense finish. Obviously, a situation where you have so many teams that are pushing, and also the pressure coming in from the north side. There's so many teams are fighting for the same terrain. I will say this though, I'm happy to see back-to-back being able to step it up here in Sanak. They had a lot of eliminations as well. I think it was 6 they ended up with in a 6th place. So it's their best game so far in the tournament after 9 games. So they're able to turn it around just a little bit.
Yeah, and I mean the placement points that they're going to be able to get as well. I think in just that game alone, they got more at least half more points than they have gotten the whole tournament up to that point.
Yeah, they could.
A really bad spot. And as they like to do if they have a very advantageous position, going to clear out that spot at the first place. But, man, RSG came out swinging very early on there, Kalaris.
Yes, they did. It was a statement piece, I think is fair to say. When you have boot camp as quite the priority position that it normally is, RSG, the fact that they just take the fight straight to Stalwart, who's currently #1 in this lobby, is a big statement. It's not an easy battleground to play, but being able to wrestle boot camp away from them, I mean, top was gone instantly, I feel like, in that fight.
Yeah.
So RSG, they're gaining steam, gaining momentum.
Yeah, we're seeing Wildcats, though. They are cruising pretty nicely today. Like, got himself another good, decent game this time around. 14 points on this match in particular.